is why do you work for the PHS?
I like working for PHS because I like saving lives and helping people out on a day-to-day basis.
Perfect. Okay, no problem. What would be? Who is your favourite patient?
Oh, uh, probably Andy Brown.
And why would that be?
He just comes in with different injuries all the time and just comes out with some very funny stories.
The first question for yourself, Josh, is why do you work for the PHS?
Well, obviously, I've seen you guys around and about the city. It's a very fast-paced, moving job. It's something that I wanted compared to one of them just, 9 to 5s. But here it's just more of a keeps you on your toes. You're always in the action.
Brilliant. Good answer, thank you. Next question for yourself, Josh, is what is the most difficult situation that you have been in working for PHS?
Obviously, we've had some busy times. We've got a few cardiac arrests and other people's on their sides, which obviously you can only treat as many as you can. But in that case, you've got to obviously get to the cardiac arrest patients as quick as you can, and obviously see what assistance you can get in the ward.
Okay, Luna, why do you want to work for the PHS?
Because I love helping people.
Okay, no problem. While you've been a student paramedic, what has been the most difficult situation that you've been involved in?
Probably Gabby's driving. She crashes quite a bit.
Okay, do you want to expand on that?
Well, because it gets quite stressful because you've got patients that are hurting you get out, and then she crashes, and then you're hurt, and that patient's waiting even longer.
Perfect, thank you. Last question for you, Luna, is where do you see yourself, or where would you aspire to go within the PHS?
Oh, probably make it to be a doctor, I think.
Perfect, love the aspiration. Perfect. Why do you work for the PHS?
Because I know that sounds very shocking to a lot of people, but I do like helping people when they're not feeling the best.
Okay, brilliant. So what's the most difficult situation that you've been in while working for the PHS?
Oh my goodness me! There's been many situations where there was one scene that we were actually physically getting shot at, so we had to be in hiding, but we had a critical patient at the same time, and our main priority was trying to save her. But to be honest, that's one of many. We're always in these sort of intense situations, and I just have someone at the back of me now.
Oh, wrong floor.
That's fine. Can you say it? Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Sorry. Can you say that last little bit again, please?
I don't know where I went. So there's been many situations. To be honest, PHS as always goes into these dangerous, but that's what we are here for, is just to try and help people.
So, because you've been working for PHS for quite a while.
Oh god, a long time.
How do you deal with the grief of losing a patient?
Unfortunately, it happens on a daily occasions. We're not superheroes. We can't save everyone. We do have these moments where we give the respect for the unfortunate, the deceased, give them the best of care, they're sending on to their next life. But unfortunately, we're just going to have to carry on. We can't get too emotionally connected to patients.
Okay, so my first question for yourself is, why do you want to work for PHS?
It's always been an aspiration of mine to help people within the community.
Brilliant, thank you. And what is the most difficult situation that you have been
in? Probably mass casualty calls. They can be quite hectic and stressful.
That's fair and understandable. Yep, that's true. how when a patient passes away within your care, how do you deal with the grief?
I probably now think to myself that I know that I've done well by the patient and done all I could. So I'm quite strong with that one and grieve quite well.
Brilliant. Okay. So, what do you do in your free time when you're not actually at work?
Go bowling. But there's very little time that I'm never off work.
That's fair. That is very fair. And finally, what is your proudest moment while you've been working for the PHS?
Becoming CEO.
Brilliant. Straight. Love that. Thank you, Emily. Right. So, the first question will be, why do you work for PHS?
The reason why I work for PHS, I'm following from my family footsteps. My mother was a nurse, my dad was a porter, and my sister is a midwife. So I'm following in from my family tree, family tree experiences. But unfortunately, my mum is now retired, so I'm following in from her footsteps.
What's the most difficult situation you have been in?
Dealing with someone that's, funny enough, I did it with Match Street. We had to give an X-ray to someone and an MRI, and unfortunately, they lost ability to walk because they broke both their ankles. So what we had to do, we had to take them for a MRI first, see if they've got any bleed any bleed on the injuries at all, and then we took him for an X-ray, and then unfortunately we had to break him the news that he broke both of his ankles and we had to put him back into place. That was the scariest part for them because they were like worried they won't be able to walk again, but they made a full recovery after they healed up, and that's my proudest moment.
Last question is probably going on a difficult one. How do you deal with grief?
How do I deal with what? Sorry.
Grief.
Grief.
Yeah.
What? Say someone's being argumentative.
No. Passed away.
I'm okay with it, but I handle it in my own way. Like, I try and think about them, even though I'm with a patient dealing with them. I will think about it. Like, I feel sorry for their family members, their friends, anyone that comes in and we're about to pronounce DOA patients. It's upsetting that we've tried everything that we possibly can to try and get them back up to strength and bring them back. But unfortunately, sometimes in the job, they are going to be DOAs and not people coming out of surgery correctly. Like, there's always going to be like a miss injury, like say you got a bleed on the brain. There's always going to be that time and the place in the square that you're going to find something. You're not going to be able to treat it because it's going to be too late and then we're going to be DOA. But it's just upsetting that we have to break the news to the family members and their friends. So I'm okay with it, but it does hurt in the inside. But I try and stay strong and get on with my job.